I've been in dogs since 1991. We breed dogs that we want to train. I was out here in western Nebraska riding Harleys and training dogs. I don't sugarcoat anything, and if you don't like it, tough.
Welcome to another episode of the Flatlander Kennels Podcast with Chris Jobman. My name is Elliott, and today we're going to be joined by Mike Marino, who is owner of Marino Decoys, and it's going to be really interesting to hear how he got into decoy carving and some really special stuff. Before we bring Mike on here, let's see how Chris is doing. Chris, what's going on in your world?
Hey guys, how are you today? I'm really excited for this episode. Mike and I have been friends for a long time, and we kind of reconnected and kind of hit it off and doing some big things with Marino Decoys. And Mike, thanks for joining us, bud.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Well, let's hit the partners real quick, and then we'll bring Mike on here and get to know him a little bit better. The first one I want to talk about is Mammoth Guardian Dog Crate. If you've listened to this podcast, you've heard us talk about this product before. It is just, as I had my hands on like a gunner kennel at one point, and I got rid of it because of the size and the weight of the thing. And I was just like, I need something that I'm 52 now. I need something I can just throw in the back of my truck, and those things are just too big and too heavy. And so when I was looking for a crate, I struggled to find something that wasn't going to absolutely break my budget and still do the job. And we found out and were contacted by Mammoth Guardian Dog Crate, and I sent one out to Chris. I got one because before we were going to bring it to you guys, we wanted to make sure it was a product that we can basically, Chris is the pro. I'm like, I send it to Jobman, let him look at it. If he approves it, thinks it's quality enough, we'll do it. And man, these are good little products. Chris, tell us about your first impression of that product when you got it.
Man, when I first saw them, I'm like, and I'm going to be honest with you, when I first saw them, I'm like, oh, this is kind of rinky dinky, the actual crate. But then I started putting them together, and we put the cage around it and the gate. I really like it. I really, really do, because you can take the guard off of it to put in the back seat of your truck, but put the cage around it for the back end, and it ties down really good. They got a really good locking gate. It's got 3 points on it, and it's a really good product. What we do is here at the kennel, they come with wheels, and we put wheels on them, and we can wheel them around the kennel with dogs in them, and we got to move them around. They're really, really cool. They're a cool product. They really are.
And it's not going to destroy your budget, which I really like about it as well.
And like you said, Elliott, them gunner kennels, don't get me wrong, the Lucky Ducks, they're all good, don't get me wrong, but they're heavy. That gunner kennel, you better buck up, and you're going to lift that thing up. And the thing about the gunner kennel is it's safe, don't get me wrong, but you lose inside dimensions because it's so thick, right? And they're not as big as you think on the inside. The mammoths are really nice. They're really roomy. They're not overly tall, and they're a really good product. I really like it.
So if you're looking for a crate, you can just search on Amazon for Mammoth Guardian Dog Crate, or go to mammothpet.com to see how to purchase there. The roll cage is an additional attachment, so you want to make sure and you look for both of those. The other partner is Marino Decoys, which we're going to bring Mike on here in a second and talk all about what he's got going on in his product, from his carve decoys to his urns, which, man, it's really cool stuff what he's got going on. So, Chris, go ahead and introduce Mike. Let's bring him on here and get to know him a little better.
We got our buddy Mike Marino, and correct me if I'm wrong, you live down in Pueblo, right, Mike? Pueblo, Colorado.
Yep. Yes, I do.
And he's the owner of Marino Decoys, which is, I'm going to tell you guys, I know Mike, how old's your oldest dog?
He's 10.
So
10,
we've known each other for almost probably 10 years,
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
Oh, yeah.
Somewhere in there, because he came up and trained, and we kind of hit it off. We taught you a hunt test. And I'll be honest with you, I had no idea you were doing this. And I had no clue. But then I started seeing you on Facebook. I'm like, that's pretty cool. And then my son's dog passed away, Spank, and I had you do a decoy and put his ashes in, which we'll talk about a little bit later on how you do all that. And then you sent that back up to us, which is basically his urn. And I was and I'm not exaggerating. My wife's sitting right. We had tears in our eyes. I was blown away. I have never seen a hand carved huntable cork decoy. I was blown away. I cannot tell you how impressed I was. It was incredible.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, your urns, is the idea that people will hunt over them, or do you do showpiece urns, or what is do you do both styles? What's the idea with that?
Yeah, so it's really on what the client wants. I offer two different types. So I call them huntable urns, where I insert, the dog's ashes and shotgun shells on the inside of the decoy, so they can still hunt with their dog. I mean, or they want like a mantelpiece, because I tell people, listen, when you get a dog cremated, it's going to show up in a little box that's wrapped, and you're going to set it in the corner or in your closet, and you're going to forget about it. And so this at least gives you, first of all, it gives the dog some honor, right? And just memorializing the dog and everything the dog's done for you, and just the friendship and bond that you had with that dog. But also, you're not just looking at a box either. And so, which is it's also special too. So it's just a great way to memorialize your dog. I mean, Chris and I talked about this. Like, our dogs do so much for us. And Elliott, and you and I have talked about it too, where it's like, man, we ask our dogs to do hard things, and we ask our dogs to go in freezing water, all this other stuff, right? And it's like, man, the least thing I can do is just honor them somehow, some way. So guys will get urns, to hunt with, or just for the mantle. Usually, it depends on what species that they like, or their last dog's retrieve, or something like that.
And it's cool that. So I'm going to explain to you Caden's urn. And I think this might be the first time you've ever done it, but Spank was a Grand Herd Retriever champion, Master Hunter, M&H, great dog. And I sent some ashes to Mike, and so Caden, we don't shoot 12 gauges anymore, but Caden shot 12 gauges over when he was younger. So I sent him a 12 gauge shell, a 20 gauge shell, a 28, and a 410. Mm-hmm. And those are all the gauges that he shot over Spank. And Spank picked up a pile of birds, and he put his ashes in each one of those shells, and then countersunk in the bottom of it like that. And so, which is super cool. And then he customized the keel, had Spank's name on it. It was absolutely beautiful.
So you could see the shotgun shells on the bottom of it. You could see like part of them.
You got one to show them?
I don't have one. I don't have one ready yet.
Okay. I'll look for the picture, and I'll put it up there so people that watch on YouTube can see it. But so what happened was great. We're all in tears, and it was literally the coolest. It was the coolest thing I've ever seen. So then Caden takes this decoy, and they went duck hunting on when it opened up here, and he went to the spot that Spank a couple years ago, now he's been gone. He went to the exact spot where Spank retrieved his last duck on a duck hunt. And he put that decoy in the decoy spread. I mean, it was the coolest damn thing. Yeah. I mean, and what's funny is awesome. It's not funny, but it's so heartwarming because when I gave that decoy to Caden a few weeks ago, his one of his best friends, Drayden, was here, and I gave that to them guys. They both were in tears. It was the coolest damn thing I've ever seen. Yeah. So
that's all that like gives me the chills, because he shot me that picture of or I think you texted me that picture of him holding that decoy up, and man, like it almost brought me to tears just to see what I create people are using, and they're it's something special, right? Like you can't go pick this up at a store, and that's what's so cool about it.
You can't, and I wish I'd have had these, because you're right. We've had so many great dogs that Eileen and I have owned that have passed away, and we had all these ashes, right? We had ashes, like you said, in boxes, and we just went to the river and we spread them amongst the river with them all together, right? Yeah. What I would have loved to have done, and I wish I still could, I don't have them, is I would love to have one decoy.
Yeah.
And start with like one dog there in the shell, the next dog in that shell. That decoy would be basically a lifetime of dogs.
Yeah.
You know, you know what I'm trying to say? It would be that one Drake Mallard decoy, whatever you choose, would be my entire lifetime of my great dogs. I could end up having 10 or 12 shells in there and hunt over all those dogs every day.
Yep.
And I wish I would have done that.
If you did an urn for each dog, you could have like a dozen and do a hunt where
whole rig.
every single decoy is a dog.
That would wouldn't that be cool?
Oh, man, that'd be so
cool. I wish I still had those ashes to do it. I would do it in a heartbeat. I really do.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of a lost art too. You know, we have plastic decoys now because guys back in the day started carving, and then it just, you know, mass production and stuff like that. But it's kind of like and Chris and I, we've talked about it a lot, where it's about the experience, right? Like, man, you can go out and you can throw out a bunch of plastic decoys and shoot a limited birds, but you take a dozen, 2 dozen hand carved decoys out and you shoot one, man, it's just incredible.
And Mike and I have come up with Mike did, but we call it the Marino experience. That is the hashtag, the Marino experience, because that's what it's about. And I was telling Mike, I love, and Eileen and I have talked about it too, we love people who have the passion for what they're doing, and they're doing their passion. There's nothing cooler than what Mike's doing with these hand carved decoys. I mean, that is, and they're all different, right? That's so, or a leather guy, or a guy that does brick, or, you know, anything you do with your hands that you take pride in building custom work is I love that. I absolutely, that is my niche. I love weird things like that. And this is right up my alley. This is the coolest ever.
Yeah,
and those of you listening, if you want to see these products and what they look like, it's marinodecoys.com, MARINO decoys.com, where you can see the urns and how many different species. And we're going to go into all the backstory, but how many different species are available for decoys or urn?
I mean, any species that you want. So like here, this is obviously a blue-winged teal that I just did for a guy. This is, and so again, I like to be creative. Like, you know, Chris was talking about, it's hand carved. So what I did is I raised the primaries on these and then painted the primaries on like it's, you know, like they're tucked under, and different things like that. But this is going to, this is actually a Christmas gift for a guy, for his son. So this was his first bird that he shot, was a blue-winged teal. This one right here, just a ring neck.
That's so cool. That looks just like one. I mean, that looks identical to a dang ring neck.
Mean, and you know, so just to piggyback on that, Chris, like the reason why I started carving decoys was because I ordered, I'm not going to say the name, but I ordered some decoys from a company, and I got them in, and they were goldeneyes, and I took a look at them, and I'm like, all they did was do one molding and painted the hin on the Drake's body, 100%. And it just bothered me for some reason, and I'm like, well, hey, I've heard of guys carving decoys before, and so I got a piece of cedar and started whittling away, and it looked horrible looking back now, but I was like, that was the best thing ever, you know. And so then I just it just evolved, and this will be my second year doing this. And I was telling Elliott when I was on Elliott's podcast, he's like, "You've never taken a class," and I've talked to some guys. Some guys have helped me out, but like I've never painted before in my entire life. Like probably the last time I painted was when I was like still pooping in my pants and doing finger painting. But like other than that, like I never painted a mallard before, and to get the tertials right and see, you know, taxidermists kind of have an advantage because they have the feathers there for them. All they got to do, you know, it's still a work of art, but like I have to carve the feathers in, or like on these are smoothie decoys. So I paint on all the feathers and how they lay. And the biggest thing is what's different from mine is I go for anatomy and I go for attitude, because I mean, again, you're not going to find a plastic Drake mallard decoy with his head turned, and things like that. So, to me, it's totally different. And I mean, if you look at birds and I spend a lot of time looking at references and video birds and how they're moving in the water, every bird is different in the water. And so to have, a dozen decoys with the same head positions is boring to me. So
here, before we get too far, I'm going to put this, when this episode airs and you put it on our Facebook page, Elliott, I'm going to put these pictures up there, but I'm going to try to hold this up. This is Spank's decoy. I'm going to see if you guys can see that. It's hard to see.
Yeah, that's
but
gorgeous.
The name on there, look at that thing. The name. Now watch. This is the coolest part right here. Each one of those shotgun shells.
Oh, cool.
See that? So each one of those shotgun shells has ashes in it, and they're all different gauges, and that's 100% huntable decoy. Like it is.
That's
it's incredible.
Super cool. So I know we talked for almost an hour on my podcast, Mike. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around the fact, because you're like, well, I'd never carved anything. I didn't, because you're not into woodworking. You're not in. So what got into your mind that you were going to just try to carve a decoy when you haven't done that type of thing in any other aspect of your life?
Yeah, I guess what boils down to it, and how my wife talks about me, which is good most of the time. It's just, man, when I set my mind to do something, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to be the best at it. And yeah, I don't have a bunch of ribbons, or, I haven't won a bunch of decoy contests. I won a couple of decoy contests here in Colorado for woodworking. I won best of show and stuff like that. But I just got it in my mind that, like, I want to carve. I want everyone to have a Marino decoy someday and to hunt over it. Because not only is it's handcrafted, it's hand painted, but it's going to last them a lifetime. Even to the point to where if you shoot them, they will still float. I've accidentally shot a couple of my decoys, but I just got it in my mind, and I almost got obsessed with it, man. I mean, where I would be up.
At what point did that obsession hit? Because you had a moment where you're like, okay, I'm going to try to carve a decoy. And I assume at that point you were just like, oh, this is just going to be some little squirrely thing I do for the heck of it because I'm bored. I mean, I can't imagine. Surely you weren't like, before you ever carved one, like, I'm going to start selling these things. I mean, it had to be a progression of, let me goof around and, oh, this isn't too bad. And take us through that progression. And, like, how did you find out what tools you needed? Yeah. How did you get an idea of how to do it? Because you're not a woodworking, or I know you may do cork now, but you're not a craftsman in that way. So what was that progression get to the point where within the first 20 months you're winning best of show? I just still can't get my mind around that.
Yeah. Give me a second. Let me grab the first decoy that I ever completed. It's right over here on the shelf, and I'll show you why.
I just can't, like, I've never carved anything and now I'm winning awards that fast. That's just doesn't even make sense.
No, it doesn't make sense.
Talent. It's crazy. I couldn't do it.
Right.
No way.
It's a hidden natural talent. I hope that I find some hidden natural talent that I didn't know. I'm still looking.
Yeah. So this I want to pick
numbers or lottery. Look at that.
Okay.
That's your first one.
So this right here was my first one ever. I drew a goldeneye pattern, and this was out of cedar, and I kept this thing because I was like, look, I'm going to carve the feathers in. And
That's not bad for a first try.
I mean, yeah. But I looked at it and I'm like, I can do better. I'm like, I want it to look like the real thing. And
you weren't planning on selling decoys at this point in time. You're just playing around?
Correct. Yeah, I was just playing around. And so then I started doing some research. I reached out to some guys, and they're like, hey, you need to get Tupelo wood. I'm like, why that? They're like, because it's softwood. It's light, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I called a guy up. I'm like, I want as many blocks as I can get. And he's like, where do you live? I'm like, Colorado. He's like, there's no carvers there. I'm like, there is one now. So send it to me. And then
you just loved it from the second you started playing around.
Man, I did. And so then, but that and this is why I keep this thing. It's ugly, but it's what really drove me to make it look like the real thing. And that's what drives me, and especially even down to the little details, right? Because again, I continue to go back and think about this, like, so this blue wing, how the feathers lay. Like when this bird is on the water, how are these tertials going to be laying? So if I put this primary up, that means, his speculum is going to be showing out just a little bit and all this other stuff. So I just want it. I want it to look like the real thing. And it just drove me to the point to where, man, I was up till 4:00 in the morning carving. I was carving heads and bodies and heads and bodies. And then I carved a canvas back.
You switched over to cork yet, or were you still doing wood? Okay.
Nope. So I switched over to cork.
When did you? So hold on. You went from cedar to
Tupelo.
I went from cedar. So I went from cedar to cork, and then for the body, and then for the head, I went to Tupelo wood just because it's softer wood. So and
your second carving, you switched to cork body.
Yep. Yeah. Second carving. Sorry, I'm not prepared, but I have all the decoys right here.
These things look like a duck. It's incredible.
So
they're nuts.
So this was my second decoy I ever carved. So this was this is a cork body Tupelo head. So then I decided to get fancy and raise the primaries and all this other stuff. But man, I hunted this bird. And man, I shot goldeneyes over it, and I kept it because I figured out, man, I should probably seal the birds, because if you don't seal them properly, they get ruined. But
now, what do you mean by seal them? What's the process of sealing them? What do you mean?
Yeah, so after I get done carving them, I get the heads on and everything. I gesso them, which helps raise the grain and stuff, so I can sand it smooth. And then after that, I just put a spar urethane on it just to seal it up really good. And then I texture it, and then I paint it.
So when you seal it, so I'm ignorant when it comes to these things too, like Elliott a little bit. But when you seal those, do you need to reseal them throughout their life, or if you use them a lot, or how do you? What's the maintenance on something like this?
So that's funny that you said that. I just posted a video the other night. Just on how to take care of hand carved decoys. So once it gets to this point here where the head's on, I use Bob Ross gray gesso. Bob Ross is that dude's the man when it comes to paint. But
well, paint a little happy tree right here.
Yeah, I'm just painting happy ducks. Happy ducks. So I sand the cork smooth, the head smooth, and then what I do is I paint the whole decoy with gray gesso. And what this does is this just helps raise the grain on the wood, on the cork. I'll sand it smooth, and it kind of helps level everything out. And after that stage, I'll put spar urethane on it, and that thing is watertight. So truthfully, I tell people this: if you hunt them, that's fine. You can leave them in the water for a week. Just take them out and just put them on a rack, or take them out of your blind bag, or take them out of your slotted bag, or whatever you have them in, and just let them dry on a table or something. And man, that's it. Guys are like, well, what about the mud? It's gonna get in the paint. I'm like, that's fine, because all the paint's sealed up too. You just gotta take some water and just wash it off with your hand, and it comes right off.
I can't wait to shoot birds over them. I cannot wait to shoot birds over my.
Yeah, so
I only got a dozen. I only got a dozen so far, but I see myself getting an entire rig of these things. And I tell you, if my members and they won't get to shoot over these things. They'll shoot them, and then I'm gonna be pissed because they don't care. They don't care. But I will tell you, I'm gonna get a whole rig of these things, and then when my dozen get up here, Eileen and I and Caden, we're all gonna go hunt over them. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, I'm excited, and you know what's funny is I have a handful of hand carves that I hunt over, but those are like the ugly ones, right? Like I don't get a chance to hunt over like these pretty ones here. So like this is a rig for Chris Aiken. This is one of his decoys, and it's like, man, I've never hunted over something this nice. Like but it's and again, it's just all about that experience. And so just going back to that question of like what drove me was I wanted it to look like the real thing. I wanted the feathers to lay the right way and all this stuff. And then I carved. So that goldeneye was my first one out of cork and Tupelo. My second one, and that one's up on the shelf, but that's a canvas back right there.
Oh, beauty.
That's awesome.
I'll tell you what, this was the first time I took that decoy out and shot. I mean, it was opening day, and I'll tell you what, I almost didn't shoot that canvas back. To watch that thing come in and land right next to it, I was like, nah, I got to shoot it, right? Like, I got to shoot it. I mean,
I'd have mounted that thing and put it next to that decoy.
Yeah, so I have him. He's still at the taxidermist, but I mean, again, it's just that experience of going, and I just think to myself, how in the world did I create something to look like that? But then that was my goal, right? Like that canvas back landed next to that decoy, and I'm like, so which tells me a lot of things, that ducks actually see their own species, right? Their own. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. But to carve it and make it look like that was just, it blew me away. It really did. But my biggest thing is it's the quality, right? There's a lot of other carvers out there, and they're phenomenal carvers. Some of them are in it for mass amounts. Some of them are in it just to do one super nice decorative one. I'm kind of in the middle. So what I carve is what we would call gunning decoys. On a gunning decoy, people don't put this much detail into a gunning decoy. Why? Because it's going to be hunted, whatever. But I cannot bring myself to not do this, right? Like I'm like, it has to be on there because that's what
Mike, you know what you're describing right now is the Marino experience.
That's it, man.
That's what you're describing. That is, you're going above and beyond. You're gunning decoys. You want them to look like a showpiece. And that's the difference between you and the carver that's putting out, mass produced and deal. I mean, you feed your family doing this, and we talked about this in depth. Like, don't sell yourself short. I mean, these aren't cheap.
Yeah.
But there's a reason for it. Like, you're hand doing it. They're hand painted. They look like a showpiece that you can hunt over instead of being a mass produced thing. That's the Marino experience. That is exactly what we're talking about. And that's what draws me to you and your business and how your passion. That's what draws me to you. Because Elliott's got the passion for duck hunting. That's what and dogs. That's what draws us together. I got the passion for, and then you and I, we draw each other. The passion for what you do. That's the experience that I want people to fall in love with. Because I cannot wait to have that. I can't wait.
Well, they're so much better looking than the best mass-produced decoy that you can buy.
100%. They're not even the same ballpark.
I bet you a dozen of those is going to be so much more productive than 3 dozen. Name the person, but and I've had really nice, expensive decoys from multiple companies. You hunt those suckers for a year, and they look substantially worse on year 2. I mean, they 100%. Wear off. The looks wear off so quickly on those. Even the nicest of decoys that I bought.
What kind of reminds me of is a lot of guys, not a lot of guys, but there's certain guys out there that'll do stuffers. Like they'll stuff, they'll mount geese and they'll shoot their geese over stuffers.
Yeah.
Right. This is what this reminds me of is kind of like a stuffer. Like it's a handmade, looks like a duck. Like it doesn't look like. So if you drive down the road and you see a goose spread and they've got 5 dozen Bigfoots out, they look like Bigfoots.
Yeah.
From a mile away. That's a Bigfoot. You put these ducks on the water, you are not going to have any idea if it's a real one or not. That's the difference. It's like almost hunting over like a stuffer. It's that they're that good.
Yeah, so I go as far as to for this rig here, Chris Akins, he wanted a January mallard, right? Like he wanted a light body decoy, and that's just because they're on the market. They don't sell anything light. Everyone's going dark, and I don't know why.
Well, here's not to interrupt you, but I remember when you put that decoy on Facebook, a bunch of people were on like, it's too light. You need to darken up. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And then one guy was even so rude as he was like, that guy that's shooting these ducks over these doesn't even know what he's doing. I'm going to tell you, Chris Aiken has shot more damn ducks than anybody I know, and he's good at it. The reason why he wants them lighter because he hunts the timber. Mm-hmm. So when that sun shines down through those trees, he wants them to light up.
Yep.
That for a reason. So how you do it custom. So I know when I told Chris about you, he's like, I'm in, and just talk to Mike, and you'll custom make them. I want them lighter. I want them darker. And where he hunts in the timber, he wants them lighter so they can see them. And he ordered all drakes, right?
Yep. Yeah. So he ordered 24 drakes. High head, low head. I did a mix of feeders, resters. I did. Oh man, sorry to get up again. I got to show you this sleeper.
While he's doing that, I'm with you. I think almost all decoys on the market are too dark.
Yeah.
When I see wild mallards, they're way lighter than the decoys that I've got. I can promise you that. It drives me nuts. It bugs me.
Yeah, well,
I don't know why people would want them real dark.
Years ago, Avery came out with a January mallard that kind of looked like that. Now, I don't think they have them anymore, but they were really light like that because that's what they look like in January, right? I mean,
they look like that in December too.
Well, yeah.
I mean, maybe not to that extent, but I think that I know the decoys I have, it bugs me because they're too dark. I want it. That's not what I see when I see mallards on the water. I don't see that.
Well, and I like Chris's. I can't wait to go down there because I'm going to go down there this year, of course, again, hunt with him, and we're going to hunt over those. But he has a point where when the sun shines, looking through that timber, they see those ducks. I mean,
right.
If you look at drone footage, and I'm sure you've seen it, Elliott. If you look at drone footage of them flying over the timber and the sun shining, them drakes stick out like a light bulb, light bulb.
Yeah.
And if anybody that knows what they're doing when they're hunting timber, if it's dark, everything looks like a boogeyman. They're scared of it. But if it's shining like that, it looks like a drake mallard. So that's cool. That's cool how Mike can custom whatever paint scheme you want to do.
Yeah, and so let me just show you the difference. This is, I don't know how well this will show up on video, but this is a standard drake mallard that I would carve. It's darker, right? I mean, to match the real thing. But then you take a look at this one here.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's far lighter. But man, this sleeper. So I'll be honest. This is the first sleeper I've ever done.
That thing is cool. Look at I like how the neck is kind of jacked around, like twisted around, like that. That's cool. That's what they look like.
That's and again, like I looked at reference pictures, again, truly studying the bird, right? And so if I put his head this way, what is his neck going to do? That means his breast is going to pop out here a little bit. I mean, so again, it's that, but that one came. I shocked myself. I'm like, I'm going to try doing a sleeper, and I'm like, holy cow, it looks like a sleeper.
I can't wait till one of his members actually accidentally shoots that decoy. He is going to freak out.
Yeah.
Because they don't care down there. They just start unloading, but he's going to freak out. It's going to be great.
Those Arkansas boys love to kill ducks on the water.
So does the Western Nebraska.
Well, I know you do too. I don't mind it. I just don't find it very fun. I don't have a problem with it.
I love it. Trick them. It's like, you're going to get it now. I love it.
Yeah.
But, if you have like 7 people and you're going in on a group, killing the first few on the water, you want to rain them out. If you want to rain them out, you got to start with them on the water.
Yeah. Again, it's just all about, and Chris, to your point, like, I know guys have their own, that guy was commenting on that. And I simply just said, like, this is what the client wanted, like, and
Yep.
and for a reason. And that's the thing. You can't order a dozen plastic decoys with the custom paint job. And I just didn't spend. I just didn't mix up a color and go, oh look, it's light. Like I spent. Where is this at? I have a plastic decoy. I spent. There's 3 different shades. I don't know why that light's all jacked up, but there's 3 different shades of gray on here. Like, I mean, so I spent time trying to develop this color. So again, when we say custom, like it's custom.
And that's like
How long does it take you to do a decoy? One decoy. How quickly can you crank it out?
A day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
a day.
Wow. That's think about that though. That's what 8-10 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Per decoy.
Yeah.
Decoy. That's
Per decoy.
that's the Marino experience. And like you get custom paint. Like I haven't talked to you about this yet. I'm just gonna tell you now. I don't want mine quite as light as Chris's, but I do want mine lighter.
Yeah. Okay.
You haven't started painting yet, have you?
No. So like this is one of your decoys.
Okay.
So I gotta sand it, seal it, texture, and then I'll have them done probably by Wednesday.
I would like mine lighter, a little lighter.
That's easy.
Not as white as Chris's, but close to it.
Yeah, that's easy.
And I'm with Elliott. I think they're too dark. I think the ones you buy are too dark.
So I was actually hunting last night, and I decided to do an evening hunt, and I put some of my decoys out there, and I was looking at I was just looking at the colors, and when that sun started to set, could not see them, could not see them, and so I'm actually gonna, and which I paint them. I usually paint mine this, like a Drake mallard, right? Like this dark. But the thing is, I'm switching all to a little bit lighter gray, just because, man, I had one that was out there that was a little bit lighter, and it popped. So yeah. I'm like, man, if you have 30 minutes of shooting light left, and you got birds coming, I mean, those things just it just pops. Yeah. And again, too, I think duck hunters. I mean, I think I was this way too. Every year, someone gets a new gun or new shells or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, check what I got this year, man, dude." You roll up with even 6 hand carved decoys, your buddies are gonna be jealous.
No, they're super cool.
Yeah, they look really nice. Beautiful decoys.
And I think it's the progression of the hunter, right? So these, and I don't know what they cost. I haven't got my bill yet. They're not cheap, and they shouldn't be. You do incredible work. This is the progression of the hunter, right? Most of us. So when we're younger, we just want to shoot as many birds as possible and stack them up. And don't get me wrong, I like to stack them up with the best of them, but we don't even shoot 12 gauges here. We shoot 20s and 28s and 410s, and we're about the experience. And so if you're a hunter that is a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? Is a little bit more. I don't necessarily. I'm not a sophisticated person, but more sophisticated, and you want a true experience, like hand carved decoys, shoot them over small gauges, in your face. This is the way to go. And this is how when I was younger, I would shoot everything. Now I want to watch the show. I want to watch them come in. I want to watch them finish. And if I don't shoot, I don't even care. Yeah. I really don't care. And this is I think the progression of a hunter that truly appreciates the sport and what Elliott and I and Mike do is this is the progression of it, I think, and this is where it's going to go, and I think it's just super cool.
There are 5 stages of a hunter that are defined, and this would be stage 1 is shooter stage, limit out stage, trophy stage. Then you move into method stage. And then, like, when you're an older guy and all you care about is the young kids, that's a sportsman. So I'd say this is the method stage, where it's like you've shot loads and loads of birds, and now it's like how you do things is more important to you. Like, you guys only shoot sub gauges, and it's the method stage of a hunter's development.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. Even like my son Caden, and he's only 24, 23, 24. I'm terrible with it, but he's the same way. He doesn't even shoot 12 gauges. I mean, they shot geese all weekend, and he's, don't get me wrong, he likes to stack them up, but he got to the method stage a lot faster than I did because I think I showed him the method. Does that make sense? And I think a lot more hunters, if they hunted over stuff like this, they would quit worrying about their limits.
Yeah.
And they would worry about the experience, the Marino experience. They want to know the experience. And this is how I think you teach a lot of them hunters. You know, it's not all about stacking them up. It's about doing it right. You know,
yeah.
The reason we have decoys is to fool ducks. We have decoys to fool ducks. This is the closest thing you can have to it.
Yeah, you know, and I think so I shot one greenhead last night, and I'll tell you what, I marveled over that bird, and I was so happy that I just got one, right? And just because watching that bird work and just feet down right over, you know, those decoys, I'm like, what else do you want, man? Like what else do you want?
That's it. That's all you want. I mean, that's it. And it's, I don't know. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for you to have this opportunity, and I'm excited for you to get out to the public and just don't, whatever you do, just don't mass produce them, because this is a niche that it's too many people try to this is the niche. This is where it's at.
Yeah, you know, and I guess that's the thing. You know, people are like, well, why do you carve decoys? Can you make a living off decoys? Well, yeah, you can, and it's because I love it. Like, I want people to, and here's the cool thing about this with this decoy. If it was hunted for 15 years and a dad passed this down to their son, like, sure, it's gonna have some marks on it, of course, over time, but like now that son can hunt with something that a father gifted him, right? Like, that could be in his family forever. Right. These things are going to last until, I guess, you burn them, or lose them. But that's the thing. And you're right, Chris. Like, it is more to me now. I'm 33, and to me, it's more about just that experience of just being in the blind and, like, man, watching that sunrise, like, watching that snowfall. I mean, it comes together when those birds come in and you pull that trigger and you go pick up, and you're like, I can't believe that this bird was fooled by these decoys. I mean, it's just, it's an experience.
You've reached the method stage a lot faster than I did. When I was 33, I wanted to kill everything. I'm 53 now, and I'm in that method stage almost to a fault. You know what I mean? And Elliott's hunted with me before. If they don't do it just right, I'm not pulling trigger. I'm not calling the shot. I drive my guys nuts. I just won't do it. But that's the maturation of, I think, of a hunter, and if you do it right.
Well, and I think you said something important too. I think and even at this stage of the method stage, or even prior to, I think it still goes back to, like, you know, teaching our kids and all this other stuff. But it's like teaching them that it's not just about killing. It's not just about, you know, getting limits, but like it's about that experience, but it's about how it's done. Like, to me, I get excited. I love the buildup, right? Like, I love putting my waders on, walking down, or doing whatever. And then what my favorite part is hearing those decoys hit the water and watching them just move in the current, or watching whatever it is like that. It's the buildup, right? And then, man, you hear those first birds come in, and it's that whole buildup thing. And I think people skip past that because they just want to get a picture to throw on Facebook, right? But man, if people just took 5 minutes with what they're doing, I think they would experience more gratification out of it.
Absolutely.
100%. And this is the coolest thing ever. I can't wait for him to show up, but I can't wait to shoot over with my wife and my kids and my friends, that my closest circle. I want them to experience all this. So
yeah, no, it's gonna be fun. Yeah, I'm gonna drive them up to you and see what you think. So
Well, we'll shoot them.
And I'll tell you a story really quick, just about the urns, because I'm looking at one. I'm carving a pintail urn right now, and this guy reached out to me and he said, "Hey man, my dog's getting ready to pass. Like, would you do an urn?" I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely." And I hate getting those calls, but at the same time, I get to be a part of something with that. So 2 Saturdays ago, he texted me and he said, "Hey man, go ahead and start my urn." My dog passed this morning. I'm like, "Man, I'm so sorry," but this is how he passed. Right? He took him out for one more hunt. He took him out for one more hunt, and he shot a wood duck, and he sent him on the retrieve, and the dog passed. And I'm like,
oh gosh,
like, right?
That's gut wrenching.
It was gut wrenching, but like that's the stuff I get to like. Listen, yeah, I get paid for it, and it's how I make a living. But I look, that's all that's a given, right? Like that's gonna happen. But like I take it to the point of where like, man, I get to be a part of this guy's like healing process. I get to be a part of the memories that he had with his dog. And so like, that's like, man, that's why I do this too. I don't do it just to make money, but I mean that again, that's a given, right? I just do that to support my family, but also I do it to just have a small part in this guy's story. And that's what all these decoys are about. Like just having a small part in your hunting story, Chris Akins. I mean, I think about it like this, like I might not be pulling the trigger, but I'm killing birds.
Yeah, right.
That's a great way to look at it. That is a great way. And if you're a dog guy that hunts, or you're a hunter that's a dog guy, one of the two, your urns are no better. There is not a better way to memorialize your dog, whether you hunt over the decoy or not. There is no better way to memorialize your dog on this deal. There is no better way. So I regret. I wish I had some ashes for my other great dogs, but I will. I know what I'm gonna do from here on out, and that's those urns are those are incredible.
No, thanks.
Well, even if you didn't have the ashes, you could still do a memorial decoy.
Yeah, I could.
To represent them,
Yeah.
It wouldn't be as special without the ash, but you could still definitely do it in their honor. You had so many beasts. So
yeah, that's true. I could put them on their keels and stuff,
Yeah. Yeah. So Mike, speaking of dogs, tell us about the dog you're running now. Now, I know that has Chris trained some of your dogs, or did you just meet him because you were working and training dogs at his place?
Yeah. So I just, like Chris said, like I met him at a hunt test, and I'm like, man, I'm so new into this. I don't even know what I'm doing. And he's like, hey, come up to my place. You can come and train with me anytime. And so I'm like, okay. So I took him up on it, and I learned so much from him. So right now I have 2 dogs I'm running, and again I train them up to the point to where they're whistle setting and all that stuff, taking casts, and because like for me I just want them right now just to go hunt for me, and so I have Hank. From Kevin Mansfield, that was my first actual like hunting dog. My first lab was like a backyard bred lab. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got a retriever, But I mean, he did great. So I got him, and then I have a female out of Texas Troubadour. And man, I love training, and I haven't trained, I do some training leading up to season just to kind of get them out of summer break and stuff like that. But, again, just that experience with my dogs and hunting with them, man, you can't ask for anything else. When I ask my dog to go swim 100 yards to go grab a wounded goldeneye, I'm like, man, like, again, it's just that experience part. But yeah, so I run 2 of them. I don't have like amazing dogs like Chris, because Chris has amazing dogs. Well, both, yeah. Chris and Elliott have amazing dogs. Mine look like Chihuahuas compared to the
Well,
dogs.
not necessarily. Don't. That's not
No.
that. Not that. But with your you have a young family, and now you're this is getting off the ground for you. Your time is very valuable in training dogs. You just don't have time for everything.
Yeah.
And you got to prioritize your family and your business, and there's something that's gonna have to give. And
Yeah.
you don't always have to have the best. I mean, if that dog is good for you and you love that dog, that's all that matters.
Yeah, and Chris, you touched on something now that we just had our third child. He's 2 months old now, and having three. When they were younger, like, man, I could pick up and go. I could, whatever. But now, like, my oldest son is 6, and my daughter just turned 4. They're into wrestling and gymnastics and this and this. And what got me, and the reason why, like, I really wanted to launch this and to give people this experience was because my 6-year-old son came up to me and he asked me, he said, "Hey, Daddy, when can we spend more time together?"
Ooh.
And I'm like,
Now.
Man.
Right now.
Now? What do you want to do?
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
"What do you want to do?"
Here's some sandpaper. Here's how you work for me.
Yeah, I'm like, let me see that in sand. But what's so cool about this, about doing decoys, is one, it gives me my time with my family, right? Not only that, but like, my son and daughter have come out here before, and like, man, if I'm like gessoing a bird, I'm like, here. They're like, "Hey, can we paint?" I'm like, "Paint away. I don't care what you do to this, And it's just building memories with them. And because one thing I realized is, like, time is something that we'll never get back. And I know over the summer when I was carving a lot, my son would he got into basketball. He's like, "Hey, you want to come, play with me?" I'm like, "Absolutely, let's go." Right. And this just gives me that opportunity because I only get one shot of him being 6, right? I only get one shot with him being 7. And I just don't want him to ever go, "Man, my dad was, always busy doing his own stuff." But this now gives me the opportunity to take him hunting, to, spend that time with him that he deserves.
When you bring your decoys up, you need to bring your 6-year-old son up. He'll put you in the lodge. He'll take you hunting, make you breakfast in the blind. He'd love all that.
Oh man, that'd be cool.
I mean, seriously, we do it. I love taking kids and women and all that stuff because our blinds are perfect for them. Elliott's been there. That's perfect.
Yeah, they're
for
nice.
kids. I mean,
they're nice.
I got a little 410 he can shoot. I mean, you got to bring him up. It's Elliott can't hit
better
anything
than
with
I
the
did. I
410.
promise you that.
The 410. So,
I
Elliott, I got a story. I got a 410 story for you. I got to say this.
Come on.
Yesterday morning, Eileen's like, "Hey, you want to shoot one of the 410s?" She's like, "I never shot one of the 410. Drake Mallard comes in, kaboom, whack. First shot ever with a 410, smoked it.
Nice.
Wow.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So I thought of you instantly, and I thought of my buddy Anthony Ghost, who can't hit nothing with a 410 either. I know Anthony's going to listen to this. He can't hit. He may be a great baseball player, but he can't shoot a 410.
It's like aiming with a feather. It's like the barrel just swings.
I watched that. I watched that episode, right? That was a while ago. I watched that episode, and then I was like, "Man, I better go grab my 410 and start practicing." Like, I can't be like Elliott, right? Like, I can't do that. No, I'm just joking.
I'm going to tell you, if you think you're a good shot, try to shoot ducks and geese with a 410. That will humble you in a second.
Oh, yeah. But like,
I didn't do much better with the 28 gauge or the 20. It was a rough hunt, boy. I was not doing well.
Hilarious.
Yeah, but bring your son up. We'll take him. That'd be fun.
That'd be cool. Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Thank you.
Well, man, this has been awesome. We've been wanting to have you on for quite a while. If you guys want to check out his Gunner Decoys or his urns. MarinoDecoys.com is the website, and I'm sure phone number and email and stuff is on there. Get yourself some custom stuff, and it's awesome products. So go take a look at it. Chris, you got anything else you want to?
I don't. I can't tell you how good these decoys look, and I think everybody needs to. That Marino experience is a special thing, and it's going to get bigger and better. And I'm happy to be involved in the process. It's going to be a fun ride.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Mike, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, man, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being on here, Mike. It's been fun. If you want to hear more of Mike talk, I had him on the North American Waterfowler podcast. We talk about some different topics and talk about some spirituality stuff. We dig into some of that stuff. So if you want more of Mike Marino, you can go to the North American Waterfowler and catch an episode over there. It was another good talk. So
I listened to that. That was a good one. I listened to that. That was a good one.
Did you hear what I said about how we're going to keep working on you spiritually?
I'm sure I did, but you guys have got.
Let's keep working on that job, and
good luck. So,
oh man, no,
all right, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Mike, you got anything?
No, hey, thanks just for just your time. Thanks, I'm telling you, I look forward to getting these done and coming up there. And just spending some more time with you and just hunting, man. Like that's I'm just in it for the experience. So thank you guys. Elliott, thank you. Chris, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Elliott, you got anything?
Nope. It's been wonderful.
All right. We'll call it a wrap. Thank you guys. Thanks for everything. We'll see everybody at the line. Take dead aim.